Well, this is fully packed and loaded training hike. One of my favorite places. Jeff View Shelter Trail. I'm thinking I'll go all the way to Three Creeks Lake today. We'll see. I'm just now starting out. But I have 1.5 liters of water, 2 days worth of food, everything I'll be carrying on trail, including camp shoes and ice axe. So we'll see. It's called training for a reason, right? Okay. Normally, I would duck into Jeff View Shelter, but not today. Okay, here we are at my favorite spot. There's Broken Top, South Sister, Middle Sister, North Sister, Belknap Crater, Mount Washington, that's Three Finger Jack. That's Mount Jefferson. Mount Jefferson. And off in the distance is Mount Hood. And then in the forefront here, it's Black Butte. You just gotta love it when you live someplace like this and get to just go visit whenever you want to. Well, so far so good. My ankle hurts a little bit, but I think it's because of the inserts that I have in my shoes. My feet haven't gotten used to them yet. I guess by the time I come off the PCT, they'll be used to them. That's quite the view behind me, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, so far so good. Now my first 22 miles is going to be at about this kind of elevation gain. It was 850 feet in 3 miles, so yeah, it's probably about the same there, with some sections that are steeper, but okay, here we go. Now there's my next up. Goes up to the road. Four miles, I'm at the road, and I have ascended 1,043 feet. So let's see how much further we go. There's Tam MacArthur. To get there, there's a ridge line, like you walk all along the top there, and then it it drops down and over to about there. Back in there is the horse camp. Not where I'm going to camp, but that's where the horses camp. Time for a sit before I walk up there. Whew. That's the last climb into Three Creeks. So here I will be sitting. Looks like a good log. It's spitting a little rain on me. Hopefully it doesn't like come in pouring, because I'll have a few hours of that if I do. If I start walking that way, there's still sunshine. But, well, I was trying to make it all the way up to the lake, but the rain may have other ideas. Well, after sitting and having a break, a little snack, I wouldn't melt, but I also don't want to have to walk for hours in the rain. It's a training hike and not the hike. Man, why do people do that? Build a fire in the middle of the road. That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, don't know why they do it, but they did. Back we go. So I took that road when I was supposed to take this road. So I went a little bit out of my way, just in time to come to a car coming through here. They blocked this off for a reason. Doesn't seem to bother people with four-wheel drives that want to go wherever they want to go, though, I guess. About a mile and a half to go. Mile 0.6, whatever. And then I'll be back to the car. Decided to stop and take a break. 1.25 miles to the car. Well, it's a good thing I turned around when I did, or I'd be on this trail for another 2 hours, because it's sprinkling. And it ended up kind of wet by the end of this hike if I didn't take off when I did. Home stretch. There's the snow park in my car. She's the only one left in the park. Time to take the shoes off. Oh. And put the Crocs on so my feet can breathe. Oh, well, yeah. So, 10.41 miles. Yeah. And it was 1,318 feet elevation gain in the 5 miles. Well, it's a day after my hike. So a lot of people will like when I go out with them and stuff, if they haven't backpacked as much as I have or carried a pack as much as I have, they ask me about what I do for training. Well, this video shows just me hiking along, but it's not the only thing I do. So I do a lot of gym work and stuff, which if anybody's interested, I can get some video of some of the gym workouts that I do. The difference between some other videos and mine might be the fact that I'm 67 years old. I see videos that people do they're in their 40s, and they're saying this is what you do to be a stronger hiker and to be able to carry a pack and go the miles. Well, at 67, I've lived through quite a few injuries because I used to be a horse trainer. And I was one of those horse trainers who I did the start to finish work. So I climbed on the colts. I did the hard stuff. I didn't just climb on already broke horses, because a lot of times the way people broke their horses was not the way I would do it. I like my horses to be on automatic pilot before I even step on their back. I want certain things to be automatic to them. So, with my training, for myself, I'm the same thing. I want my body to respond in an automatic manner. The reason this is important is because, for instance, I had spent 2 years training with a guy, a physical trainer, fitness trainer, and he had me doing Bulgarian split squats, lunges, single leg balancing, holding a weight kind of stuff, bent over and back up, just so that I would be strengthening on both sides. And how that came in handy was my pack was way too heavy. It was somewhere between 35 and 40 pounds, like way heavier than it needed to be. I didn't know. It was only my second trip out, and we were way out in the wilderness. And I say we, it was my friend Sean, who does a lot of hiking and backpacking with me. And we were going along a trail that was snow. Well, he had kicked the steps in front, and I was following along his tracks. Well, it was 10:30 in the morning. It was warm. It was in June, but we were on top of these, like there was 6 feet of snow on the trail. And I stepped into one of the holes where his foot had gone, and the snow gave way off to the side of the trail. Well, it was a 300-foot drop. I wouldn't have dropped like dead drop, but I would have slid down about 300 feet if I had not caught myself. So being able to be strong, single leg stances, being able to stand like a flamingo and really get into pushing my trekking pole down into the snow on the side, and not just using my arms, but actually able to use my legs, was a big deal. Yesterday's hike, I found out that I don't think I'm going to be able to hike in these new inserts. I know they're supposed to be correcting the way I walk, but what they're doing is on this right side, I have some elongated tendons, and they're shortening them up, and it's like my ankle hurt so bad by the time I got done yesterday. I'm really glad I didn't do that extra 3 miles I was going to do to go up to the lake, because that had been my goal. So I'm glad the rain came along, because by the time I got back to the car, that 3 miles would have been absolute agony. Like by the time I got to the lake, I might have been thinking about just spending the night there, and that was not the goal. The goal was I want to see how my feet hold up, particularly my right foot. because that's the one that I had the stress fracture on last year. So sorry, I'm jiggling the camera. There's my ADD kicking in right there. So, yeah, so that was a training hike. I mean, I know how to do it, but being able to carry the load I'm going to carry and do the elevation gain per mile that I did. So, the elevation gain per mile I did yesterday was 269 feet per mile. And where I'm going to be starting out at in Cajon Pass up to Wrightwood is 235 feet per mile. It's a gain, but it's not drastic gain like 1,000 feet all at once or anything. And I just needed to see if I could do it. So I've got 3 weeks before I fly out. It'll give me a lot of time to make the decision. Like over the next 2 weeks, I'll make the decision whether or not I'm going to print my permit or if I'm going to cancel this this year or if I'm going to keep going. My hope is everything, once I, like my next hike out, I don't do it with the inserts and see how that works. See if that foot holds up and that knee holds up and that hip holds up, because it's affecting it all the way down. It's shortening up in places where it's never been short before. So I'm going to take it back out. And it may be one of those things where I wear my inserts one day and not the next. It may be just that simple. Because I feel great today. My feet aren't sore. My knees aren't sore. The only thing that's sore is actually my right wrist. That's it. And I don't know if it's because maybe I had the straps too tight on my trekking poles, when I was walking and it was pulling on that or what, but we'll see. So, okay, we'll see you in the next one.